What's going on YouTube? Heylow here bringing you another Total War Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So today we will be doing a Chaos versus Wood Elves replay that I'm bringing you up from a quick battle. And we are going to be doing a Chaos all cavalry build. So a lot of people have a lot of issues against Wood Elves, mainly because one of their big faction strengths is kiting and like high mobility. So here's something you can do to kind of switch it up and throw your opponent off when you're playing a faction that's very low mobility generally. So right into the build, we have Archaon the Ever-Chosen. He is going to be on Dorgar, bringing some Lore of Fire. We're going to have Burning Head and Fireball. And then up front, we're going to have spread out some Chaos Knights with Lances, 4 of them. In the very front, Vanguard deployed, we have Marauder Horsemen, another 4 of them. And then we are going to have in the back 3 units of Chaos Warhounds with Poison, just to chase things off the battlefield and maybe grab some skirmishers or skirmish cav for our heavy cav to catch. Over here for the Wood Elves, we are going to have a line of a Tree Man and the Spell Singer Lore of Life with a front line of 4 Treekin. Out on the flanks over here, we are going to have a unit of Way Watchers as well as a unit of Deepwood Scouts, a Glade Lord on the Eagle, and then in the back some War Dancers with Azrai Spears covering the flanks, as well as a unit of War Dancers in the woods. So let's get going. Alright, so right off the bat, opening salvos, the Way Watchers and the Deepwood Scouts getting some pretty solid damage on my Marauder Horsemen, so we're going to pull them back right away because I don't want to sit there and try and trade shots with those elite skirmish units. They're going to do a lot of damage to me. So we get them out, and we're going to start pushing up with all of our Chaos Knights, and we are going to try and get some juicy charges in on all these Way Watchers, try and shut them down right off the bat. Our opponent moves up with the Glade Lord, trying to get some good shots in with the AP missiles onto my skirmish cav, but we are going to trade some shots back. Archaon does end up miscasting a fireball, which for some reason doesn't end up going off. But over here, my opponent tries pulling his Way Watchers back into the War Dancers and the Azrai Spears that I have not seen yet. Fortunately for us, Chaos Knights with Lances extremely high charge ratings, so they are going to be coming in hot and heavy. Poison Warhounds coming in to kind of disrupt, add that poison effect, reduce speed and weapon damage, and we get some solid charges in, punting some War Dancers over. They're going to do really well in sustained combat. Unfortunately, Azrai Spears don't have the best defense at all, especially with charge defense, so they are getting pretty wrecked so far. High armored Chaos Knights plowing through. Poison Warhounds and Archaon headed straight into the Way Watchers, but the net going down on the Chaos Warhounds of Poison to bog them for the charge. Burning Head coming in here from Archaon to do some really good damage on the War Dancers and try and rout out those Azrai Spears. Meanwhile, some Marauder Horsemen are dumping some shots into the Treekin, just trying to get some of that HP down. Poison Warhounds coming in, as well as the Chaos Knights with Lances from the right flank that have wrapped up these Deepwood Scouts. And they're going to be doing some nice charging in over here, getting some good damage in on those trees. Meanwhile, out back on the left flank, our opponent has landed the Glade Lord, and Archaon is going to be going after her, but she pops up into the air. Way Watchers here taking some pretty substantial damage from all our Poison Hounds and the Chaos Knights that have cycled through. All our skirmish cav sitting here trying to drop some shots into the Azrai Spears, and the rest of these War Dancers that are getting pretty beat down by the repeated Chaos Knight with Lance cycle charges. Unfortunately, these trees just aren't really fast enough to catch up and bog down the Chaos Knights substantially, so we are able to break out all of the skirmishing components of our enemy's faction here. And at this point, it's pretty much just going to be ignore these trees and try and isolate these War Dancers, finish off that last Treekin unit over there, and get some good skirmish fire on this Glade Lord. So she is hot in pursuit, trying to go after our skirmish cavalry, which has a lot of ammo left. And she's going to be getting a nice little corner charge there, take a few models off, but we're going to continue to skirmish that out. Meanwhile, in the woods over here, Chaos Knights with Lances, chasing off the rest of the infantry, trying to get some nice charges in, run them down before they can regroup. And our opponent here brings the Glade Lord down, so we stop our horsemen and put them into melee mode, and then we bring our Chaos Knights with Lances in out of the woods to tie her down, and she takes tons of damage very, very quickly. She's getting peppered by javelins, the Chaos Knights doing some substantial damage very, very fast, and she is getting absolutely dumpstered. So we're going to put a nice little Burning Head down here, and just absolutely shred through those Word Answers. And with that, our opponent is going to concede defeat. They just didn't have enough left to deal with this high mobility nobody really expects from Chaos. So I'm not going to say do this build every time. And yeah, it's not the most fun thing to play against, but it works, especially against Wood Elves who maybe try to bring some trees like this and then go for some mobility and try and abuse that slow speed that Chaos tends to have with their armored infantry. This high mobility, high armor, charging, just basically beat stick is going to work great for you. So you can see all the kills here, chevrons on all the Chaos Knights, absolutely tearing apart these Word Answers, doing really, really good damage on the charge. You just can't stay in sustained combat with them because that's when the Word Answers are going to start doing some serious damage to your Chaos Knights. But yeah, that is going to be it for today, folks. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.